how can we use the 10-foot putting bullseye game to get better? So I've created my station. I'll put a T-peg down just to mark it so I know where I am. I've got 3 balls, 3 sets of 9, great. Now, one thing that you can do is firstly, just figure out what the break of the putt is. So using the green level, we can pop our phone down, and then we can select the pace of the green, which is about an 8, and then I'm going to select the distance, which is 10 feet, and then I'm getting a reading, feels like 13 foot, 1 inch left, 3 foot long. So that 1 inch left is from the center, so it's pretty much going to be on the left edge of the cup. So I know then that I've got my green read sorted, and then I can close that. I can then get my putting bullseye game up. And what we've got to remember here is from 10 feet, your goal is going to be, if you're a really great player on tour, about 40% of those hold. But what we really don't want to do here at any level is 3 putt. And what I'd say is, for this putting bullseye, with it being so short, even if you're a beginner, you want to select that hard mode, because it should be relatively easy to get these putts inside 3 feet. So I've started the game, I've got 3 putts here. So we've got that green read, which is a great use of the Handy Golf app. And then I know it's going to slightly break from the left to right. So I want to try and make sure I get these as close as possible. So I've just not started that on the right line. So I'm kind of getting the feedback there as I know where it should break. And I know that one I've started it a little bit right and it's finished a little bit right of target, but the pace was pretty good. So I'm giving myself feedback on each of these putts. Okay. This one I've overcompensated because I aimed too far to the right. On the first one I've aimed too far on the left there, which is absolutely fine. And then you can kind of figure out what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, and you'll develop some patterns. So let me give another one, see if I can give it in the middle. My pace is good on those, you can see that. Okay, so I felt that start a little bit left of me, and it ended up left of the hole, but you can see here my pace is pretty good. I'm going to go over and then I'm just going to mark these where I scored. So the first one was a little bit long, second one was just about 1 feet, and the third one in that 1 feet circle. That's fine. And then we're going to use that feedback to really kind of work on what we need to here. So you can see here, pace for me isn't an issue. You might find that the pace is an issue for yourself, but we're going to go, okay, start line. So then you can think of things like, do I need to put a line on the ball to help me with my start line? Or for me, you'll notice, because I'm on camera, I'm not really lining them up properly. So it's something, if you are practicing, that you might need to do. I've come back, if I step in, okay, I'm going to pick out, I don't like a line, so I'm going to pick out an intermediate spot and see if that helps. You know, you got to treat it like the real game. So I picked that intermediate spot. Okay, that felt like it was more on line. My pace was a little bit pacier there, so I still missed on the left hand side. But that thing of walking back, checking the line really helped. Okay, so I'm going to pick out an intermediate spot. And sometimes it can be a great way of experimenting what works for you. Okay, so I started that a little bit right there, I could feel it, and then on this one I might just try something different. So I'll try lining this up, see if that helps. See, I'm not doing a very good job here, but that's absolutely fine. We're trying to improve and figure out things. Okay, so now I've got the line on my ball, I know what the green read is, and you might find that when you stand over it that looks a bit funky, but we know that's lined up good. Okay, and look, first one I've holed because I got my line right and I'm using that feedback. So That's really good. So I maybe said I don't like using the ball, or the line on the ball, should I say. Let's check these. So you're kind of getting feedback. It's really important on all these putts, and treat it like a round of golf, the way you go through your routine and everything like that. Okay, so line on the ball. So that's helped me on the last one. Okay. Nearly. I felt like I pulled that putt, but I'm getting feedback. Okay, so let me do the line on the ball here. Okay, and that green read IQ can really help you because it eliminates any doubt. You know where that ball's going to break. Okay, now that looked like it was aiming a little bit right on me, which it was. Fine, but you notice, look, my pace is good. Okay, this one I'm going to go no line. Let's line it up. Let's see. Okay, I struck that out of the toe. But, okay, so I've hit my 9 putts. I've recorded my score. I've only holed 1, which I'd want to hold 40% of these as a pro. That was pretty poor performance, and that's fine. But what I'm trying to show you is how I can take that and improve. So in that instance, I'm processing what happened there. You'll note that my pace is pretty good on all of these putts. It's consistent. My issue wasn't pace control. My issue wasn't green reading, because I used that green read IQ to get the line. My issue was starting the ball online. So now what I'm going to do is go away and work on some start line drills. So I can do things like a gate drill, anything that's trying to improve my start line and where I'm aiming the putter, because in this instance, that was my fault. And then I can go away, do that, come back, and see if I can improve my score. So hopefully you can see there how I'm using the 3 kind of rules of putting: green reading, pace, and then start line, to identify where I need to improve. And in this instance, it was the start line.